I know that managing your home can feel overwhelming, like it takes too much time, like we can never ever get ahead, and also feels like we have no help. So today I wanted to share with you my #1 like home management hacks. These are easy, simple little tweaks that will absolutely change your life. And this is coming from someone who is not necessarily like a clean or organized person, but they are things that anyone can do and will make the day-to-day management of your home easier. And because you won't be spending as much time cleaning and picking up, maybe we'll have a little bit more time for like some novel reading, chocolate eating, and bathtub soaking, maybe.
Would you let me know, because I'll sign up.
Hello, my name is Christine. If you have never met me before, my channel is mostly all about frugal living tips, money saving hacks, and delicious food. I've been married for 20 years. I have 4 amazing kids. My oldest is my 1 daughter. She has graduated and gone. And then I have 3 active teenage sons. So yeah, it's that kind of house. So if anyone needs all the home management tips, it's this lady over here, because not only are they messy and stinky and go, 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 but they also want to eat all my food. You know how great teenage boys are at putting things away? Yeah, that's right. They're not.
Surprise.
Surprise.
So to help me out on today's video for you guys, I went to Instagram. I asked over on my Instagram stories what were the most challenging parts of homemaking or home maintenance, and I got a ton of responses that we are gonna tackle later on in this video. But first, I wanna share with you the tips that changed my life and that changed the life of my neighbor. I'll tell you about her in just a second. So first, we are going to tackle paper clutter. Do you have a spot like this in your home where all of your papers go to die?
Most definitely.
Yeah, me too. What about a spot like this where your kids stack all of your mail and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and none of the bills actually get paid? And like, what about all the receipts that you need to like turn in to your husband so he can go over the budget? Or what about the returns we need to do? We need that Costco receipt. Here are the things that I have tested and that work for me. So if you have found that nothing else works for you, these might work. We have the #1 tip is your goal with paper clutter is to keep none of it, okay? That is the goal. So when the mail comes in, you have to look at it immediately. I'd say 95% of all the mail that comes into my house is garbage. So it comes in, I rip it in half, and it goes in the recycling or the trash almost immediately, which lowers the amount of paper clutter by a significant amount. #2, the only mail I really need are bills that need to be paid. Well, guess what? This is my bills that need to be paid tub. It goes in this closet right here, which is technically a linen closet, but I use it as office and paper organization and storage. So when my kids need pens or filler paper for their binders, or tape or scissors or markers, packing tape because I got to return something, or the bills that need to be paid, they all go in that closet behind me, because it's right by the front door where the mail comes in. You see what I'm doing? I'm not like wandering down into the basement where the office is. That's not where I bring it into the house. So once a week, I go through the bin and I pull them out and I pay the bills. Another way to fix like paper bills that come in is to automate most of your bills. Now the bills I'm talking about are ones that are not automated. For example, my life insurance, which gets paid via check once a year, is not automated. But if you are getting a water bill in the mail that you have to write a check and send off, what are you doing with your life?
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Get online, sign up for auto pay, sign up for paperless, and adios paper bills. You should not be getting paper bills for monthly bills ever. Digitize and automate everything. Get all this stuff out of your life. Okay, so what if you're not the one who pays the bills? Well, we can still have a bills to be paid bin. Mail comes in, throw it in the bin, leave it for the spouse or whoever in your house does the bills. So it's there and easy. Let me show you the second one that was a big deal for me, which is receipts. I realize this looks like a lot of receipts. That's because I run a business. And so this is actually my business receipts. I only go through and file my receipts into the appropriate binder twice a year. That is all. But I have to have them for my taxes. Like I had receipts everywhere, right? Everywhere. It was always a disaster. I never put it in the binder. Even though I had a binder, I just didn't do it. This is what I do with receipts. and I'm done. And twice a year, once in June and once in December, I organize it into my binder for taxes. That's it. Let me scroll down and just show you a few other things I really like. So this is my paper storage area where I have filler paper and Post-its and envelopes and, like, you know, those binders the kids need for school, but they don't need them all the time. We keep extras right here. And then this baby, this is my crown jewel. This is the school binder. If you do not have a school binder, you need a school binder, okay? This thing revolutionized school papers. So here in the front, I print out the school calendar, okay, for the entire year. And as we go in, each of my kids has a tab with their name on it with these like empty, what do you call them? Sheet protectors, okay? So when the kids come home with syllabi,
Who's to say which is which?
field trip papers, emails, class rules. So anytime my kid's like, oh, I missed school, I need homework for this day. I'm like, oh shoot, what's your teacher's email? Let's go look in the binder. Boom, here it is. Permission slips for field trips, information for field trips. Okay, here's my next son's page, you know, and then he's got his sheets. And then, oh, there's my last son's page. And there are his sheets. So everything that is necessary to run the school stuff goes into the school binder. This takes 5 minutes to set up and will save your life. Bills to be paid bin, receipt bin, school binder, change your life. One life hack everybody needs to do is to get term life insurance like stat right now. And if you want to take care of your family as well, you can do so with today's sponsor, Fabric by Gerber Life. Fabric by Gerber Life is term life insurance you can get done today, right now, in as little as 10 minutes. With no health exam required. It's made for busy parents like you, all online, and goes along with your schedule. If you have kids, anyone counting on your income, you need life insurance right now, because the last thing you want to have to worry about if tragedy happens is money and finances and how are you going to pay for stuff. And the younger you are, the cheaper the rates. So listen, I would lock in those low rates today. Fabric has flexible, high quality policies that fit your family and your budget, like up to $1 million in coverage for less than $1 a day. There's no risk, there's a 30-day money back guarantee, and you can cancel at any time. But Christine, does Fabric have more than just life insurance? Actually, yes they do. It is your one-stop shop with digital wills, investment accounts for your kids' future, and more. Plus, you can manage it all right from your phone. Join the thousands of parents that trust Fabric to help take care of their family. It's meetfabric.com/frugalfitmom. It is the first link down in the doobly-doo below. Apply today in just minutes. That's meetfabric, MEET fabric.com/frugalfitmom. Well, what about laundry? This tip came to me when I was at my friend's house. So let me tell you about my friend. She has 7 children. So I was over at her house chatting with her, and she had mountains of laundry on the couch and in the laundry room, and she's rolling things through, and she's just telling me, she's like, Christine, my life, like I cannot, the laundry rules my life. Like I spend hours managing the laundry for 7 children, and a lot of them are quite young, so it's not really like they're at the spot where they can do a lot of it themselves yet. She's like, oh my gosh, the sorting, oh my gosh, the folding. And I said, wait a minute, what do you mean by sorting? Tell me more about this sorting. I gotta do the whites and I gotta do the darks. And I was like, sweetie, let's change the way you do laundry. And I was like, you know, you don't have to sort whites, darks, lights, because what she was doing is she was taking her like 4 youngest children all in one bin and then like mixing them and sorting them all out. And she's like, what are you saying to me? And I'm like, just wash everything together. I have 1 basket per person in the house, right? I guess me and my husband share one. So 5 baskets in the house. But like my oldest son and my middle son and my youngest son, I don't mix all their clothes. I don't put them together to separate out whites, darks, lights, delicates, and wash them accordingly. No, my oldest son brings his basket and washes the whole basket, and then dries the whole basket, puts it in the basket, and then goes back into his room. There's no sorting. The sorting is gone. The sorting is what takes all the time, because you mix, and then you sort, and then you wash, and then you have to resort. Oh, this person's socks is this person's socks, and then, oh, this is their shirt, and then their shirt, and 5 shirts later, all you've done is mix, sort, back into the rooms. Our washing machines and dryers have advanced so much that whatever you've been taught by your parents or your grandparents that you have to do this sorting, you don't have to anymore. You don't. I'm giving you permission to just try it. I have almost never, I'm not gonna say never, but almost never had an issue not sorting my clothes. Look, these are like super, super light gray. I just washed them with these like dark clothes right here. They're fine. I'm gonna give you one more tip, laundry tip that's gonna blow your mind. Are you ready for this? You don't need all the products. You don't need dryer sheets. You don't need the smelly beads. If you have like some really stinky athlete stuff or like some things that don't feel like they're getting clean, this is my tip. This is bleach. I put about 2 teaspoons to a tablespoon in every single load, including darks. It has never ruined any of my clothes. And they smell great. It washes my machine at the same time. I was really nervous the first time. Like, I was really scared. I'm like, I'm totally gonna ruin my clothes. I'm gonna ruin all of them. You have to let it mix in with the water. If you have a front loader, it's no issue. If you have a top loader, let it mix in with the water before you add the clothes. I've now been doing it for 8 years. You'll never have better smelling clothes. 1 basket for each person. Dump the basket. Try the bleach if you have stinky kids, or like in my case, I'm the stinky person. You'll never go back. Okay, the next big tip, you may not like this, but it is true. One of the reasons you cannot keep your house clean is because you have too much stuff. Even if you have decluttered for like a year, you still have too much stuff. So one of the ways that I go about this is I do concentrated decluttering efforts here and there, but the key thing, I always keep a cardboard box in my garage. This is the continuous donate box. It is always the donation box. So like when you get one of those boxes and you're like, wow, this is like a really good box. I can't get rid of this box. This is your donate box. It goes into your garage or by your front door, or maybe it goes in your car. Wherever it happens to go, whatever works for you. Mine's my garage. When the kids are like, oh, these shoes don't fit me anymore and I don't have any more kids underneath my 12-year-old, it's like, go throw them in the box. I see the skillet, not this one, I'm just holding it as an example, that's like all scratched up and I'm not gonna use it anymore, it goes in the box. And then when the box is full, it goes into my car and goes to the donation center immediately. I have an overflowing box in my garage right now. Let's run these to the donation center together right now. Let's go. And I actually have 3 boxes worth of donations. I really let that go for a while. And while I'm doing this, I am also going to take care of my Amazon returns. These ended up not working for my project. And because I'm going out to run errands and get things out of my house, I also made it a point to grab the extra plastic bags. My local Albertsons has a recycle bin where I can just put these in and they recycle these bags. Do you think they actually recycle the bags? Or do you think the whole thing is a scam? I'm not sure, but I'm trying to do my part either way. So I just took like basically 3 boxes of nonsense in my house, plus returns, plus extra stuff. I'm getting it all out of my house in one trip. Not only does the box in the garage help you constantly think about decluttering and getting things out of your house, but when it comes time to actually move the things out of your house, you're thinking, well, I'm running an errand. What other errands have I been putting off, like recycling the bags, like taking things to the post office, like what Amazon returns do I need to run back to the UPS store? You can take care of them all at once. And here's the real truth that I don't think people talk about enough. Listen, we all procrastinate things like, I don't wanna, let's procrastinate tomorrow. The things that you've been putting off usually take so little time that when you accomplish them, you start to think, why was I putting this off in the first place? There's a lot of confidence building when it comes to the work you've been avoiding. That's true, whether it's taking a shower or making your bed or taking the items to the donation center or doing the returns that have been sitting on your buffet for 2 weeks. Whatever it is, there is great power and confidence building in taking care of those things. So if you have those things sitting around, I encourage you to take care of them right now. Now that everything's been donated and our errands have been run, don't forget to get a new empty cardboard box and put it back in your donation spot so you can accumulate some more. Okay, let's move on to some more tips. Now, it would not be a Christine video if we didn't talk about food at least a little bit. So let's go over a little bit of refrigerator and pantry organization as well, because this is something we deal with multiple times a day because we gotta eat to live, right? So it's something we're always in and we're always dealing with. A huge budget waster and source of stress for, I think, everybody is cleaning out the fridge every week. You take this lettuce that's been in here for way too long, and look how limp this is. Who likes limp brown lettuce? Not me. You know, so it ends up in the garbage. And oh no, are these the strawberries I meal prepped and now they're growing fuzzy things? Garbage also. So now I'm spending time managing all these things that are in here, and I'm throwing a lot of the stuff in the garbage, which means I just need to organize it a little bit differently. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a use it up bin. Before the things go bad, we're gonna open the fridge and do the following. You will find things that are not bad when you're meal planning, like this sausage. The sausage is going to go into the use it up bin, and on my meal plan, I'm gonna write some kind of sausage dish for my meal plan. Okay, so that is now on there. I'm also gonna look at this peppered turkey and put it in the use it up bin, because for sandwiches, for lunches tomorrow, we're gonna use up this turkey. I'm also noticing these apples are getting a little wrinkly. It doesn't mean they're bad, they're just like moving past their prime. Guess what? These apples go in the use it up bin. So I'm gonna make an apple crisp, or like steel cut oats with brown sugar and cut up apples and a ton of cinnamon for breakfast tomorrow, right? I'm making my plan based on what's in here. So that does a couple of things. Number one, you save money because you're not throwing things away. Number two, you don't have to go to the store for more food because you have enough. I guarantee 90% of people have enough food in their house, fridge, freezer, pantry to feed their family for a week. They just have to make the plan based on what's here. So these go into the use it up bin. I've got an avocado that, you know, once you miss the window, these are garbage, right? So we've got that going into the use it up bin. It's going on a salad. I'm having avocado toast tomorrow. Maybe I'm making guac with chips as a snack. So our meal plan is taken care of. Our fridge clean out is taken care of without wasting money by throwing things away, and by saving money by not going grocery shopping this week. If you haven't tried to use it up in your fridge, highly recommend. It's the next day, so I have a different shirt on, but I wanted to share with you one of my biggest tips for keeping the house up is that I don't do it by myself. I have help. I have 4 children. I only have 3 left at home. 1 is grown and gone, and I've done every stage of parenting, probably except for the oldest, where they get married and have their own families. But I've done little kids, I've done teenagers, I've done adult children. When they're really small, kids love to help. And one of the things that young children are very, very good at is matching stuff. From the time my kids were 2 years old, I would give them a stool so they could stand next to the silverware drawer, and I would give them the clean silverware. And I would say, okay, can you match all of the forks? And put all these forks into the drawer with the matching forks. They loved it. It was like a game for them. And then when they were 3, they were stacking plates and cups. And then when they were 4, they were carrying them to the correct cabinets. And when they were 5, they were essentially unloading all of the clean dishes by themselves. My friends, I'm not lying to you when I say I have not put away clean dishes in 15 years. Clean dishes is not my chore in the house. My kids do it. My husband even does it sometimes. Listen, you give your spouse like a little wink and a little like shoulder roll, they will do whatever you want, okay? Now that I have teenagers, this is what we do in our house. I wanted to share this with you because I just made a new one. So we have a chore chart. It's extremely simple. It looks like this. It goes on the wall in the kitchen. So the first 3 items on here are all kitchen based, because I feel like the kitchen is probably one of the most important places to keep clean because it is the center of the home. You're in it multiple times a day. Everyone is eating multiple times a day. It's where people gather. They gather at the table to eat. They gather at the counter while people are cooking. They hang out. The kitchen is the heart of the home. So I have dirty dishes, and counter wiping is all the same. So that's like load the dirty dishes, hand wash the dirty dishes, okay, and then wipe off counters. That's a job. The next one is putting away all of the clean dishes and then putting away any food that might be out. Okay, that's a different job. Trash and recycling is another job that gets looked at and taken care of. That one maybe not every day, but almost every day. We just cycle them through. I have like my oldest son is like boom, boom, boom. and then he starts over again. Okay, these 3 chores are my 3 sons that are still at home. Keep in mind, my kids are 12, 15, and 17. They're highly capable at this point. When they were younger, they were much easier chores and much more broken out. I also added a separate section down here at the bottom because my kids are older, so I have dinner. Like the kids that make dinner, they each have a day that they're assigned. I take most of them, but my 3 boys take 3 days a week. My 17-year-old was joking because I have the whole weekend, and he was like, oh mom, I get it. Your days are leftovers, leftovers, leftovers. I see what you're doing. And then I have living room, and the living room is a clutter pickup. It's not a deep clean, it's not a dust, it's not even a vacuum. It's like, if there's stuff out, it's this person's job that day to pick up the stuff and put it away. The chore chart that you've developed eliminates fighting, arguing, I did it last time, what about his turn? I always do the trash. Like those disappear because it's your day. On Monday, trash and recycling is Tyler's day. Like there's no argument. It's Monday, it's your day. For me, especially dealing with teenagers that wanna argue and bicker a little bit, they all kind of wanna do that. You know, they always think it's not fair. This eliminates quite a bit of that. When they're young and when they're 2 and they're matching the silverware, it's not fast. It is slow, but what you're doing is you're making your life easier as they grow up because they're used to helping. They're used to being a part of the family where we all work together, and we all work together slightly imperfectly to make the family unit work as a whole. We don't have to be perfect at what we're doing. We just have to all do it together to form a community of family. Let's go rapid fire on the pain points of the Instagram comments. So one of them was dishes. Ugh, don't have a dishwasher. Okay, this is my #1 tip. Putting on some kitchen gloves while you wash dishes and some loud music, that always helps me. This will change your life. I had a really hard time with hand washing dishes because I didn't want my hands in like slimy food, rough sponge all the time. It drove me crazy. Try the gloves. It will change everything. It will change everything. Okay, the next one is cleaning tubs and showers. Ooh. I am so with you on the cleaning tubs and showers. So there's 2 hacks you can use for this one. #1, you can get like a cheap broom or something like this. You can get them at Dollar Tree or whatever. Do your spray. I'm a big fan of Comet. You know, like Comet with some hot water. I like the way it smells. It's a little abrasive. And you get this in here and you just like shh. Like this, okay? That's probably your cheapest option. Another option is I used to have a shower scrubber. It's by the brand OXO, O-X-O. I got it on Amazon. It's this one right here. It was awesome. This was game changer for me because it had like a scrubby head on it, like a kitchen sponge, and you could get up in here, up in the corners, down. In fact, I should go buy a new one because I liked it that much. In fact, I'm gonna go do it right now. I'm gonna go buy a new one of those right now. But it saves your back. You don't have to get down there and like scrub with your arms. You can just like stand and move the whole thing around. It's really, really effective. Sometimes all you need is the right tool. There are a ton of comments about general cleaning, and I suspect it's actually not cleaning. I suspect you're picking up, not cleaning. We're not talking about dusting baseboards. We're not talking about spraying and wiping off mirrors necessarily. It's the constantly picking up, like, why is this dog collar here? Why is this purse here? Why is there a pen and paper on this coffee table instead of where they belong, right? It's the picking up of all the stuff so it looks tidy. And there's 2 parts to that. The first one is you still have too much stuff. My friends, I decluttered my house over the course of 3 years, and I was still spending 2 hours every single day picking up. I wasn't cleaning, I was picking up. I couldn't even get to the cleaning because I spent all my time picking up, and then at that point, like, who has the time? Who has the desire? Nobody. And so what I realized is I still didn't go deep enough in the declutter. Like, decluttering all the stuff will change your life. Instead of the question, do I need this? Because you could always come up with a reason that you need something. My mom is particularly good at that. What you can do instead is, what else could I use, or could I replace this, or could I borrow this? Once you get rid of all of the excess stuff, you'll find that you're spending less time picking up and you have the time to do the actual cleaning. Okay, next one is studying what's for dinner. I love this one. So first of all, you could come to Mr. Fridge and go to the use it up bin like we talked about earlier. The other thing that you can do, go to the family members in your home and say, hey, what do you want for dinner this week? And here's the trick. Do not take no for an answer. If they're like, I don't care, no, I don't accept that answer. I'm not gonna leave you alone until you give me a dish that you like. I'm not gonna stop bothering you until you tell me what it is that you want, because I'm tired of coming up with all the ideas. And as soon as they have input, and I'm saying this like from the kids, from the spouse, they tend to be very excited about what you eat. There's this dish I make from my grandpa, this chicken and rice casserole thing. It's extremely, is lowbrow the right word? It's extremely budget friendly. Can we say that? It is cheap to make. There's like 4 ingredients. It's so basic. Even though I really like it, I'm aware that I don't want to overmake things for my family. And my son was like, you know what? We haven't had that chicken rice casserole thing. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. Like if you want it, I'll make it. So I made it and I served it. And he said, Mom, this is one of the top chicken recipes you make that I love. And I was like, what? I didn't know they liked it that much because I never forced them to make a decision or have an opinion before. But when you force them to have an opinion, it's really fun to see what you learn. And remember, I talked about my friend with the 7 kids, with the medical kid, with the laundry that was overwhelming, remember? So I gave her my tip to stop sorting and just have like 1 basket per person. I talked to her a week later and she was like, Christine, I tried the laundry thing. You changed my life. She said I saved her like 5 hours a week. One little tip, 5 hours a week back in her life, that she doesn't have to sort and resort laundry anymore. Okay, another one is keeping floors clean with a long-haired dog that sheds. My dogs don't shed, I have poodle breeds, but I've heard from my friends that the robot vacuum, they run them twice a day and they're life-changing. Filing. Oh, here's what I've learned about filing. You don't need almost any of it. I had file cabinets because my parents taught me I had to have file cabinets. You don't need any of that crap. You need your social security cards. You need your passports. You probably need your bank information, checks, that sort of thing. You do need to keep personal taxes for 3 years. 3, not 7. The IRS recently said it's 3 years. Businesses is longer, so if it's businesses, it's different. Personal is only 3. Why are you keeping it all? I've been helping my mom organize her office. We were going through her files and she had not touched them in a very long time. So we're going through like the files for 2020, okay? And she's like, I need to go through these one by one. And I'm like, Mom, there is nothing in these 2020 files that you need. 0. She had like receipts from Walmart where she bought 1 Diet Coke and kept it. You do not need this stuff. Everything is digitized now. Utility bill, shred it. You paid your medical bill and got a confirmation email, burn that thing. Like, you don't need any of it. Remember the goal that I talked about earlier? The goal is to keep 0 paper. 0 paper. You do not need to scan it into your computer to keep it. You don't need this. I was able to take my huge filing cabinet and bring it down into like a small little box like this, you know, where I keep like birth certificates, car titles. Like, yes, you need those things, but it's a small little thing. Everything else goes. I'm not great at home management. I'm just a normal person, and I would rather be out like hiking a mountain with my family instead of staying at my house. Like, there's other things I'd rather do. I'm sure there's other things you'd rather do. But I was able to take some pain points I have in my house and apply some very simple hacks to simplify my home life so this is easier to do. Managing your house should not be overwhelming, and so I knew I was doing it wrong. So I found the things that worked for me in my house. I feel like if I can do it, you know, anyone can use these and they would be helpful. And I just want to close by saying, listen friends, it won't always be like this. It won't. So if you have like little toddlers that are making messes with everything, I promise it will not always be like this. It gets better. It does. Just hang in. You're doing a great job.